If you don't need all the bells and whistles of something like an iPad or Android tablet, the Boox line of ePaper tablets have a lot to offer. Let's talk about it. Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the Boox Tab Mini C ePaper or e-ink tablet. But before we get into it, please take a moment to like this video if you found it useful, click on subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss when I post new how-tos and reviews. Alright, so let's get the specs out of the way first. This is a 150 ppi color and 300 ppi black and white display. It's got 64 gigabytes of memory and a 7.8 inch design. I did an unboxing on this Tab Mini C and compared it to an iPad mini in terms of size, so be sure to check that out if you're looking to see how the sizes match up. Now, Boox makes a few different models of e-ink tablets. They have the Tab, Note, and Palma series. The Tab and Note series have both black and white and color displays. I picked the Tab Note C to compare to the iPad mini size for size, and it compares really well. I really like the size of this device and it feels good in hand. The case that came with it isn't bad, but I'm not a fan of the flip type closure on it. Although that type of closure does hold the pen in place and secures it to the books. That is one thing on the iPad mini where the pencil is not really secure to the side. I think I just don't like the magnetic flip closure because it keeps getting in the way. Battery life on this thing is great. It's an e-color ink tablet, so battery life isn't as good as a black and white e-ink, but it's still really good. With regular use, I only had to top off the charge every couple of days, whereas I'm pretty much charging my iPad mini daily. The included pen is basic. They do sell another pen that has an eraser top. The writing feel was pretty good. I'd compare it to writing on a Kindle Scribe, but I would recommend really playing around with the pen options in the software because I feel that makes a difference on how it feels when you're writing on it. It's a little bit of a placebo effect here. If the ink on the screen is dialed in, I think your writing experience is just better. So getting into the user interface and OS, this is running Android 11, and to me, that's pretty huge. When you look at the Remarkable or Kindle Scribe, they're both running a more closed OS. The Kindle Scribe is running Kindle OS on Linux, and the Remarkable runs Codex built on Linux as well. I feel that running Android just gives this device a big leg up on the competition. And speaking of Android, the Play Store is preloaded so you can sign in and start downloading apps like Drive, Kindle, OneNote, and more. As an Apple user without access to my favorite note apps, it was nice that I could get OneNote because that's the app I would probably go to for my PC Android usage. Boox has a built-in e-reader with some free books you can download that are in the EPUB format. If you prefer not using the Kindle app, the Boox app works well. But I liked using the Kindle app, especially with color. I don't really read comics, but I had a couple to check out, and pushing up the brightness and checking out the comics was really nice. Sign up for a Boox account and you get more options for using the Tab Mini C. You can sync your calendar and access the push.boox website to download your notes and sync files. But I really liked that I could load up Google Drive and was able to transfer files that way. Let's talk about taking notes on this. Okay, so let's open this up and look at the Notes app because that's what I want to focus on primarily. I like the fact when you open the cover, the device powers on automatically. That's really nice. This flap though just drives me crazy. I think that maybe it will lie down as you continue to use the device, or I guess you could just flip it over like that and you could use that way. So there's a little tip for you if you end up getting this device. So this is really nice, Android based. It's really responsive as well. Let's jump into the Notes app and kind of look at what's in there. So within the Notes app, you can star notes, you can create new notepads. You see the cloud sync status here as well. I'm going to create a new notepad, and then I could give this a name. When you're going to type the name, there are some options at the bottom, so I can type out and kind of hunt and peck for the name that I want to give this. Or I could use the writing pad here, and I could write new note pad. So that's nice that I can put that in there. And then I've got different templates I can choose from. There's a bunch of different ones here that you can choose from. I'm going to choose the horizontal lines and create so we can look at this interface. So on the left hand side, there is quite a bit here. There are a lot of different options, which is good and bad, I think. It's nice, like if you look at like a Remarkable or a Kindle Scribe, it's almost like less is more. Like having less here doesn't make it feel as cluttered, but there are a lot of options too. So if you want these options, they're here and available for you. At the top are your pen settings. So if I type on pen, I can choose my different types of brushes and the colors I want to use for those. Like I mentioned earlier, if you can dial in the weight of your line and the type of brush or pen you want to use, I think it makes a big difference. I think it really makes a difference in how you write, because it just feels, it almost makes it feel better on the screen when you're writing. So you've got things like lasso and gesture. One thing I do kind of have a little issue with is the AI at the bottom left. So if I tap on AI, this has good options. So you can do text recognition. I can do text recognition. You'll see it recognized as new text or new note, and I can insert that there. So that's really cool. But and then there are other options. There's strike through erase. That's actually pretty cool. Shape perfection, meaning if I draw a shape and then hold on, it's gonna keep that shape. So let's draw a triangle, so it keeps that. These the kind of scribble erase type thing is kind of cool, because you can do that and it'll erase text, and I actually like that. That for me that works. And even though this doesn't have an upside down, I'm pretty sure it does not have an upside down eraser, that strike through is actually pretty cool. It doesn't work on the typed text there, but yeah, this is a nice notepad. It reminds me of a scribe. If I tap on the top left there, I can collapse. So you can collapse and expand the toolbar and make it a floating toolbar. That makes it a little more normal looking, like, I guess, and then you can grab it there. So that's nice, and then you can expand it back out if you want to. The other nice thing that this has is its search, which is a big thing for me. If I'm doing a search, let's go back into notes and search, and I'm going to search for, I think I've got a note here. So I'm going to search for Memphis, and then you have your choice of searching title and then handwriting. That's the key for me, is to be able to search my handwriting. And if I search through my notes, it will hopefully pick up that note that I've got there, and there it is. So it shows that it's handwriting, and it's got the note here. So I can jump into that note, and there's where I had my, I'll go to highlighter. See, that's my brush pen. I think that's my highlighter, my marker. Go there. And it does this thing where if I guess I got to tap away to get there, but there's where I mentioned him. So it does have that, and it made that disappear, which is a little weird, but it does have the ability to do that. So that is a really big feature for me, is the ability to search your handwritten notes, which is something that the Kindle Scribe doesn't do. I don't know if Remarkable does that, but Apple Notes does that, and there are some other apps out there as well that do that as well. I just reviewed an app called Note Shelf, and that with the premium has the ability to do that, but I was a little disappointed that the Kindle Scribe could not do that. So that is really the note app I wanted to talk about. These are all accessible online as well. So some of the other features, if I hit more at the bottom left, here's where I can share and export, and then you can do a refresh, you can do recordings. This does output sound, as I mentioned, so I can share and export this note. And if I select this particular note and then go up to the selected note. It has different options for sharing and exporting. You can share and then you could also export to, say, Drive, which is pretty cool because I have Drive as an app on here. And then you can also access this through Boox the Boox website, so you have the ability to get to that note from there as well. So if I hit share, it'll bring up different options, and you can see I can actually send this to Kindle Drive. I can send it to my own drive, and there are some other options here as well through the apps list. So you can even do a nearby connection. So when you're at the main notepad screen, if you swipe up, that'll take you back to the home screen here, and you'll see I've got Drive and Kindle loaded up here. If you swipe down from the top, you actually get notifications, so you'll see notifications that you have available as well. Overall, I liked using this device. When you compare this to an iPad or Android device, cost would be a big factor. The bundle that I got included the tablet, case, and extra nibs, which was $430. If you compare that to an iPad, the base iPad mini with an Apple cover and second gen Apple Pencil comes in at around $630. If you're looking for iPad mini size without the iPad mini price, I think this is a solid option. It's light, probably holds up really well as a travel device, and there are good sharing options for notes and getting them off the device. Definitely worth checking this model out, or one of the other models from Boox if you want something bigger. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and we'll talk soon.